Okay, well, it's 3 minutes after 8, and I'm not seeing any participants at the moment. We're going to record this for posterity. The main subject we have this evening is about how to collect signatures. Just a little while ago, Chad Thompson from the Sensible Project Coalition sent me our new updated copy of the local initiative guide for South Carolina. Pages 8, 9, and 10, I'm going to ask all of the volunteers to read. This is about the signature portion of our campaign. One of the questions is the first question it really asks is what should be our goal. Our goal says, according to the guide, is about twice what our actual should be because of disqualifying signatures. A lot of people may have moved since they registered, forgot they moved, or forgot to re-register. So they think they're registered, but they may just be disqualified because they've moved in the meantime. So for Charleston, the city of Charleston itself, rough guesstimate, a little bit less than 30,000 signatures we're looking at. That is our larger portion of the 3 municipalities that we're starting with. Folly Beach, I think, is going to be somewhere around 700, 750 that we're looking for. James Island, I haven't calculated recently. I have to go look those numbers up. But again, much smaller than the number that we will need for the city of Charleston itself. Earlier today, I also got the first draft of the petitions for Folly Beach and James Island. There are a couple of corrections that needed to be made. So I updated Chad on that. He's making the corrections probably as we speak. And I should have those back in hand in the next day or so. The next question on the signature guide, or on the initiative guide on the signature campaign, is where do I get my signatures? And that, any place you can stand in public and talk to people is where you can get your signatures. You know, I've talked a couple of times on these meetings about the need of clipboards. 2 different volunteers have each picked up 30 clipboards. I have also got 12 to pick up. They're waiting for me up at the Staples. Came in today. So we've got 72 clipboards to get us going. Also, I think by Friday, I should have the 6-inch by 6-inch leaf with Decriminalize written on it, stickers. I posted a picture of those on all 3 of our social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Trying to get glare off my glasses, sorry folks. Again, as the guide says, that itself, just a clipboard, makes a great mobile office. Be out and about, anywhere, any place you go, just say, hey, would you like to sign a petition to decriminalize in Charleston, James Island, or Folly Beach? Be very clear with them. And this is one of the points I want to make. Be very clear that they need to be a taxpayer in the municipality they're signing for. There's a lot of confusion on James Island. If they're, you say, oh, well, do you live in Charleston? Well, yeah, I live in Charleston. Well, where do you pay taxes? The running joke apparently around the island is what color is your garbage can? And I'm not sure what color a James Islander's town of James Island garbage can is. I think they're blue, and the green ones are City of Charleston, but don't hold me to that. With that said, I wanted to quick pull out one of the petitions that I have already printed out. I happen to be able to do 2-sided printing, so if you're able to do that, you can save a couple of sheets of paper or pick some up from me. Let's see how clear this turns out on the camera. And this is a 7-page document. You'll see each page says page 1 of 7, 2 of 7, 3 of 7 as we go along until we get to 7 of 7. These need to be stapled in the top left corner, kept as a packet. Each one of these then becomes its own legal document. Do not add any additional pages. Do not change anything in them. The only difference could be if you're 2-sided printing like I am, it could be less sheets. I have 3 sheets of paper versus having 7 actual sheets of paper if you're one-sided printing. But do not change the document as it is presented in the PDF that we send you. Next on that list, of course, I did mention the stickers. It talks about making a sign of some sort, putting it on the back of your clipboard, putting a big marijuana leaf or a hemp leaf on the back of your clipboard. We've got that taken care of with 50 of the stickers coming in. At least those will get us started. It also talks about using multiple clipboards. Now, we're going to be in a situation where we might be running across people from all 3 of those municipalities in a location that we're at. So we'll want to have each one of those petitions on its own clipboard. And some of them, if we're expecting a lot of traffic, we might want multiple clipboards for each municipality. Don't be afraid to load up and have plenty of these available for people to sign. Talking about signing, I just picked up a pack of 20 so far pens, but we'll probably be starting to scrounge for pens and asking for donations for pens or of pens, whatever it is, however it works. Pens, if you happen to have some that you're advertising your business on, send some our way. Again, I'm just sort of reading through the guide. I'm going to ask you to read through it completely, but it mentions get out there, bark at the crowd. They talk about the old carnival barkers. As many of you know, I'm not really the shy wallflower, so I do kind of get out there and talk about cannabis wherever I am, whenever it is. It just happens. It is what it is. Some of you may not have that obsession. But we're going to ask you to try and get a little sense of that while you are out there gathering signatures. Don't be afraid to ask a server at a restaurant. Don't be afraid to ask somebody at a business that you're patronizing or being a patron of. Just ask everybody. Can't hurt. Also talks about working local events. If there's local events that we can be at or near. Standing outside of the entrance of a local event, if it is gated off or something, or a ticketed event, as long as we're staying on public property and not bothering anybody, not interfering with the flow of traffic, we're perfectly legal to ask people for signatures in those situations. Also it mentions high traffic public areas such as a motor vehicles, Department of Motor Vehicles or Job and Family Services type of situation. If you're a coordinator of one of those areas, that has some of those bus stations it mentions are only usually good for a couple of days. Generally within a few days, if people ride buses, you're going to catch them within just the first couple of days. Some local store owners might allow you to put to be there to support the initiative and agree to collect signatures. Again, some of those you might run through their clientele within about a week or 2 time, but it is an option. And it does mention in here, always carry voter registration cards with you, just to make sure that somebody is registered to vote. Better than that, if you have an option to register them right away on your phone at scvotes.org, do it. Just have them sign up on your phone, their phone, an iPad. It's really easy to do. As we've discussed already, there's a very high number of residents in South Carolina that are already registered to vote because they ask you to vote at the DMP. But again, if somebody moves, just to make sure, if they're not sure that they're registered at their current address, have some of those voter registration options available. And as it also mentions, be sure to verify and double verify that the signer is a registered voter of that town or municipality. Make sure that they're registered to vote, and make sure that they can read, that you can read all of their information as it's written on the clipboard. So when they write it out, double check it before you thank them for signing, just to make sure that you can read it, all of it. Again, if it's not legible, it won't qualify. That's pretty much what I wanted to cover as far as the what to do with the petitions. Be very careful with them, A. As far as when you're printing them out, there are 7 pages in the packet, no more, no less. Otherwise, my next thing is we need a couple of needs. Signage is one of them, some simple signs. I have a couple in mind, not too expensive. We can get some of the yard signs, 24 by 24 or 18 by 24 at relatively reasonable cost, one color. A real simple design. Decriminalize cannabis, sign our petition, normalsc.org at the bottom, a little bit smaller. Some donations from that would be great. We would love it. As everybody knows, go to our website, normalsc.org, and you'll find a button there on where you can go and donate. We are also still looking for some coordinators. We do have about 5 of them, I believe, on our list. We're still trying to get everybody kind of organized and on board here. But definitely we need 2 people in Daniel Island. If you know anybody in Daniel Island that can help us with this, that can help coordinate signature locations, and then down the road, get out the vote push. Also, we're looking for somebody else on James Island. We're looking for someone on John's Island, and we're looking for someone inside the Loop, West Ashley area. Those are our major coordinator needs, and then outside of that, we'll be looking for some volunteers in those areas to work with those coordinators and get out there and start collecting some of these signatures. Again, donations are requested not only for the signs. There's going to be some printing costs. We can do quite a bit of the printing here on my laser printer, but I will need some donations for the toner cartridges to get all these printed. But that'll again be significantly less than sending them out for printing. That's some of the major things I have to talk about tonight. That's pretty much what I wanted to cover this evening, was a little bit of the basics on that. We'll post the video up online and share it out. That's about it for this evening. Karen, thank you for joining me. And I want to talk to you a little bit later, so I will be in touch with you in the next day or so.
That'd be great.
Okay, thanks. Good talking to you.
Okay, me too. Bye.
Bye-bye, y'all. Good night, everybody.